Hi, welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and my authority. It's also it also comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, from the Bible. Now, this is the fifth part of the 21st chapter of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which is the 18th chapter of the Book of Zion. This is part of the dissertation, and I'm just going to take up where I left off. So, the oppression of Zion is just one more attempt by the greedy to overpower and control those seen as being without help. But we do have help. We have 12 entire species of aliens headed by little gray friends. Those little gray friends will give us the sense of right that we need to overcome our enemies and obtain our desire for peace, and they will help us to overcome our fear. God is a powerful motivator. When my people read this and know for the very first time that they really are as cool as they always knew they were, things will change drastically. My people have no idea who or what they are. Um, they do not know that they have a living alien God that will tell us that we have the right to rise up, and that will galvanize us to do the right thing, to defend our right to exist. The only reason that we are still in chains is because we, until now, have never had a reason to believe in ourselves. We went along with the lies because we didn't know how to respond. We had no means to uphold our right to do what we do. So, without a valid defense, we just endured in silence. But that silence is deafening. It was also deadly. The longer we went along with the game, the harder our lives became. Because when we had no way to defend our lives, the state just got greedier. Their chains, their claims against us got more and more absurd. We, in our ignorance, had no way to end the war or to disprove their lies. Silence to society meant justification. However, the truth has always been available to the people of Zion. We only had to look into the Torah, the Bible, to find the answer to our prayers and our dilemma. God, the Gray, had created the means to free us long centuries before we ever smoked our first joint. The prophecy has been around for 3,000 years. All we potheads had to do was to read it a couple of times to realize what it meant. The Gray not only execute righteousness, but they also judge for the oppressed. The Torah has been an inspiration for more than one uprising, from the fall of Israel in AD 66 to the Crusades throughout the terrorist activities of today. The righteous and the oppressed have always found inspiration in the words of the Gray. Ezekiel 39:25, Zion 18:7. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, now again will I bring captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous of my holy name. Ezekiel says that when the war becomes oppressive in the 1970s and beyond, this is the captivity of Jacob. I've already explained that Jacob refers to Zionites, Israel to the blooded Jews. Ezekiel tells us that both houses are to be saved, both Israel and Zion will be upheld by the God of Israel. At the time of the Gray's arrival, they will be very jealous of their holy name. The entire human population will be bound by the prophecy. No other God will be allowed to exist because those gods are either truly gray or false like Jesus. The aliens chose to be the God of Israel, the Most High God of Israel. That is their only chosen designation, Gray Israel God. You see, all of the ancient gods were gray, or related to them through the galactic society. Our entire planet was the home to the gray. They were the dominant alien race. Every human on Earth at that time had a name. That they had a named Gray who ruled over their region of the planet. Not as gods, but as elders of the planet. Humans knew the Gray were more advanced and more civilized, so of course the Gray ruled. They were in control when the humans were created, but they were all gray, not a race of gods. So they were scientists, civilized, a civilization like ours, just more advanced. And no human of any religion has the right to contest this. The entire race of the Gray decided in the Council of Elders that the name of Israel would be used to donate their godliness or their connection to humanity. All names of prior gods would be rejected. The new name for God is Ishi. Only this name is a Gray designated name as the first contactee. Ishi is my baby daddy. His name alone is authorized to signify the name for the Gray. Jeremiah 12:7, Zion 18:8. I have forsaken mine house. I have left mine heritage. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hands of her enemies. Jeremiah 12:7 tells us that the Gray would forsake the house of Israel. They would seemingly abandon their heritage, the pot, and that they would give the dearly beloved of their soul, Zion, into the hands of her enemies, i.e., I would have to go to prison. Which is, of course, what I did. This forsaking of Israel and Zion was a plan. Lamentations 2:13 and 14, Zion 18:9 and 10. What thing shall I take to witness for thee? What thing shall I liken to thee, O daughter of Zion? For thy breach is great, like the sea. Who can heal thee? Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity, to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. Lamentations goes on to explain the plight of Zion. Her breaches get great. Who can heal you? I have already explained my lifelong struggle with rape and incest. The breach is my psyche, and my psyche was greatly breached. It took from age 17 to age 35 to heal me. And even now, sex is a struggle. Without my husband, Messiah, my plight is to be raped or to have to endure life alone. He, the Messiah, was supposed to heal me. We are the same energy, who was my childhood sweetheart, who waited for me to grow up before he dated me. He was supposed to heal me, but I had to get over it on my own. My Messiah was chosen because he and I are what they call soulmates, but he never came to heal me like he was supposed to. And the next verse is about my struggle to overcome false religion. I was born into a Christian family. I was born Lutheran, so I grew up believing in Jesus Christ. I believed in both the Old and the New Testament. The first 5 or so times I read the Bible, I read it as a Christian. I had a hard time understanding the prophecy because I was expecting to find a Christian prophecy. I was afraid when I first realized that Christianity was a false religion. So I um, believed in the lies myself. That made it harder for me to realize who I am and what I am meant to do. Because of my false beliefs, I assumed that my captivity was justified like everyone else. It wasn't until I had renounced Christianity until I became aware of the truth in the prophecy. That truth revealed to me my true identity. Then I became aware of the falsity of the war on drugs. I realized the truth that marijuana is the sacred terrapin, a tree of life, that turns on latent DNA and leads to the return of the gray to earth. The war on drugs isn't about drug use, it's about the emergence of a new form of humanity. Whether the government knew it or not, prohibiting the use of marijuana impeded human evolution. Lamentations 2:18, Zion 18:11. Their heart crieth unto thee, O Lord. O wall of the daughter of Zion, let tears run down like a river, let not the apple of thine eye cease. This Lamentations verse tells of my years of crying. I cried not only for myself and for my lost love, but I cried for everyone else who suffered. It's not just victims of rape. It's not just drug users. I asked God to help me overcome my pain. I offered to help God in the pain of us all. I cried for the entire planet, and you can see the evidence of my tears. That's what all this darkness is about. This is testament to all the tears that I've cried. My tears were not in vain. Micah 1:16, Zion 18:12. Make thee bald, and pall thee, for thy delicate children. Enlarge thy baldness as the eagle, for they are gone into captivity before thee. Micah 1:16 talks about the newer fashions of being bald, to pall or to tie up your hair. This fashion statement, again, is a timeline passage that tells us what the people of Zion look like. Our current fashion in hairstyle is to have bald spots and to tie up the braid or braid the hair. This is the generation of the captivity, the fashion of my people. I'm going to stop right here, and we will take up next time with Psalms 140, 12, and 13. So, until then, may the gray watch over you, guide you, protect you, keep you from harm, and teach you right from wrong. May you always be worthy of them. May your words, thoughts, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. May you always be happy and high. Know that I love you, and I wait for our big camp out. I'm looking forward to it. Believe me, I am looking forward to it. So, until then, later, because I'll never say goodbye.